What is up, everybody? We are back in the building. Please give me a 1 in the comments if the audio is nice and clear for you. If the visual is nice and clear for you, give me a 1 in the comments. Let me know everything is good. Today, I am going to make an argument that is going to ruffle a lot of feathers. The first stage for most people when they find out something that is true is denial and ridicule. The next stage is violent opposition. And the third stage is acceptance. Today, I seek to send you through every stage of the realization or the epiphany of truth. I want you to ridicule and deny. I want you to become violent. But most importantly, I want you to surrender. I want you to lay down your apprehension and accept what I'm saying to be true. And if you criticize what I'm saying, if you don't believe what I'm saying, I want you to call the hardest person you know. Send them the link to this video. And I want you to implore him or her to prove me wrong. I'll give them the link to come up. White podcasters are now the shot callers of black gangs. Let me say that again. White podcasters are now the shot callers of black gang culture. You know those Crips and Bloods that you spent your whole life being afraid of? You know those Crips and Bloods that our women have multiple babies by because for decades these degenerates have been presented to them as the epitome of black masculinity? You know those dudes who show their butt cheeks by sagging their pants low, giving pedophiles and diddlers the signal they need to let them know that they're open for business? You know those dudes who launch bullets through the walls and windows of the homes of innocent people in an effort to take out one of their enemies with impunity, with no regard for innocent lives? You know those dudes? Those dudes are now being ran by a bunch of white podcasters, some of which aren't even from America, some of which come from across the pond to get their piece, to show you that it really doesn't matter what the white man's accent is or where the white man hails from. Anybody with a skin tone lighter than a brown paper bag can set up a specific set of circumstances that will put them in a position to run these fools from sun up to sundown, all for their monetary benefit. I'm going to play a video, and in this video, you're going to see several Caucasian males, all of whom are podcasters, all of whom make their money and make their living off of speaking about information in a group setting to shed light on that information to the ignorant and to provide commentary on that information for the well-informed. Among this group of white Caucasian men, you will find 2 Negroes. Sorry, can I say Negroes? You will find 2 black males. not their peers, not their counterparts, but two black men who are working in a capacity of servitude, subservience, and who allow themselves to be controlled like puppets in whatever way these Caucasian males choose to control them or manipulate them. When you watch this video, I want you to come away with a question. Do you believe these men are operating amongst these Caucasian males in earnest? Or do you believe they are operating among these Caucasian males in longing? Are they there as peers and equals? Or are they there as men seeking validation? Let me know. Here's the video I present to you. Booyah. None other than Whack 100, Remo, I could never tell you why he's in the room, Adam 22, Vlad TV, and Trap Lord Ross. This is a room full of what our people have labeled as feds. Why we're calling them feds, I still can't tell you. But in the mind of black folks all over America, these guys are feds. And when you call them feds, I think you're giving them way too much power over you, over your mind, over your life, over your consciousness. We are going to witness this guy right here, the big, bald, black dude, Whack 100. A gangster. An OG. Explain himself. A dude who on a daily basis postures and presents an image of aggression, or you can say aggresses, against other African American or black males. A dude who makes it very clear to all people who share his same hue of color, of skin color, that if we mess with him in the wrong way or come across him and we don't show him the ultimate respect, he'll do us in. A man who has several times challenged other black males to pugilistic combat, all over in a perceived defense that may or may have not been committed against him. Imagine how my jaw hit the floor when I watched Whack 100 sit in a room with Trap Lord Ross, a pencil neck geek from the other side of the pond, a OG from whatever Piru gang is out there in Pacoima, explaining himself to someone who you and I all thought, under any other circumstances, wouldn't even be granted an audience among real OGs. Yes, my friend, I am telling you today, these three white men that sit before you on this screen, these are the new OGs. These are the new shot callers of black gang culture. Controlling an OG near you, pulling his strings and making them sing whatever tune that they see fit.
Saying it wouldn't have been genuine.
When you started bringing up the whole Christopher Lovejoy DNA story that everybody was talking about, right? Like
he was only able to do that story because I set it up to be done.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say is,
like, you do that a lot, Trap.
Did you expect?
But hold on, Trap. You got to correct that.
No, let's go.
You do that a lot. You're a foreigner guy out there, and you be talking about our shit like you know what you're talking about. So if you was really watching it, Lovejoy didn't grab it until it was on the internet. So now you got to ask yourself, how did it get on the internet? Right? I knew I couldn't just let him talk about that because they were going to do what they're doing now. So I had to position it so it was on the internet.
So you put it on the internet, or you had
No, well, what I did is we have a segment on the 100 side of Clubhouse called Murder Mysteries. And I simply sent the girl Tink from Chicago the newspaper clipping from 2021. She was oblivious, so she started running the murder mystery. She's good at it. She'll start reading and digging. She'll come up with all these rabbit hole type scenarios, right? And when she got to certain points of what it may have been or what is this or what it may have led up to, when she would break, I played a snippet from the audio we had from the family.
Yeah.
So this guy, Trap Lord Ross, basically accuses Whack 100 of lying about the situation where the sister or the mother of the victim, Rayshawn Williams, said that the federal investigators found a match between the DNA of Big U and the DNA that was found on the body of Rayshawn Williams. Now, Trap Lord Ross purposely insinuates that Whack 100 said that. Now, we all listen to that audio, and in the audio, it's very clear that the man's mother or sister, I don't know which one she is, mother or sister, said that she's the one who said that they matched the DNA to Big U. Instead of simply saying, I never said that, which Whack 100 never said that. He was on the line, but he never said that. Whack 100 goes into a full explanation to this Caucasian male. And it almost was like a father-son type of situation. Like Trap Lord Ross is his daddy telling him that he stole cookies out the cookie jar. And Whack is like, no, I didn't, daddy. This what actually happened. See, what happened was the cookie jar fell down and the dog ate 2 of the cookies. OG. A dude who will threaten aggression against another black man. Sitting up there explaining himself to a Caucasian male who has no connection to his background or his experiences, has no shared experience with Whack 100, no commonality, nothing that would tie these two together other than this white guy has fame and notoriety on YouTube for going into the hoodest of black hoods, telling black folks business with no repercussions. I like to say with impunity. That means he doesn't even have the fear of facing any repercussions for operating in a unethical way with black culture. Even now, I see people in the comments telling me, you're overreacting. I'm not overreacting. How you going to tell me I'm overreacting when I know people who spent the better part of their lives being scared of these sons of bitches, worried about these Negroes, because these dudes terrorized our communities for decades? You couldn't even step on one of these jokers' shoe without them trying to take your life. You say so. You ever watch Menace to Society? You ever watch Menace to Society? Put a 1 in the comments if you ever watch Menace to Society. Put a 1 in the damn comments if you've ever watched Menace to Society. I'm going to wait for the ones. Put a 1 in the comments if you've ever watched Menace to Society. I want them. I want the ones. If you ever watched the movie Menace to Society, you remember why O-Dog deleted the lady and the man at the liquor store? The man said, I feel sorry for your mother. O-Dog was a gangster. He turned around and said, fool, what you say about my mama? And that statement alone for O-Dog was worth taking 2 lives. And when we were young watching that, we said, damn, you better not mess with them gangsters, because they'll get you over anything. You better not step on a shoe. You better not wear the wrong color clothes, because they'll get you for anything. Boy, we done came a long way. We done came a long way for dudes who operated in the same spirit as O-Dog. Hyper-masculine males, or at least that's what they were presented as in our community when we were younger, now being interrogated by pencil neck nerds from across the pond. We went from no snitching and snitches get stitches to dudes telling all their business in a room full of white folk seeking validation. I've said it once and I'll say it again. White podcasters are the new shot callers in black gang culture. Because it used to be no snitches get stitches. No snitching. They just bring this guy in, sit him down on the couch, and say, sing, sing, baby, sing. And he just start telling all his business. I'm going to play more of this video. But as the little snippet that I've played so far, I saw a young white male, no older than 25, maybe 30, tell an OG, Paru, made an accusation against him that could lead to him getting a snitch jacket in the streets. And all he did was sat there and explain himself in depth. No, Massa. Let me tell you what really happened. This man is twice the age of Trap Lord Ross. And he's sitting on that couch with his damn hand in his pocket, looking like he talking to his damn teacher at school or the principal. I make the statement, you deny the statement. Then I play the video that proves the statement that I made to be true. Watch the video and tell me I'm making this up. I'm not.
So the snippet I played first said, you got Vlad sitting there with his fingers locked. You got Adam sitting up there with his hands locked across his belly, looking like my grandpa when he was 96 years old. And they're the bosses. The white guys are the bosses. They sitting there like this is business as usual. The only person I see with a defensive posture is Wack 100. You got Remo back there. I don't know why he's even there, but he's there. But I'm telling you, the person who looks like they're being interrogated by a room full of Caucasians, the most apprehensive person in that room is Wack 100. He's not even reclining. Barely. And I see Trap Lord Ross sitting there like, I got you. I'm going to just throw statements at you. I'm going to just throw stuff at you that I know is not true. And I'm just going to sit here and watch you squirm as you try to explain this in a way that's not going to leave your community feeling like you're a snitch. And that's going to garner views and money for these white dudes sitting around you. I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to say things that aren't true. Watch you squirm for our financial benefit. I'm just keeping it real. We came from the community where O-Dog smoked two fools over saying, I feel sorry for your mother. And this dude just made a statement. He basically called Wack 100 a snitch, and Wack 100 didn't jump up and slap the taste out of his damn mouth immediately. But if I went up in there and was like, you a snitch, he ain't gonna do shit, but he'll act like he gonna do something. Why? Because they have the complexion for the protection. What you guys don't realize is a lot of these old dudes, Wack included, they look at white people. They're right on the asshole end of that generation.
that looked at white folks, that revered white folks in almost a godlike way. See, he's right on the asshole end of that generation that felt like white ice was colder. And if white folks wanted to see it or do it or entertain it, well, then it's what had to happen. And there was really no way you could push back. See, sitting among these white men doing something that he literally criticized and condemned other black men for doing, that validates him. He feels like he's been invited to he's happy to be, I've been invited to the party. Bro, talk about how big you didn't punk me and this and that. And I had a burner and I had a banger and all that stuff. But after all the aggression, all the time he spent aggressing against his own community, he's still like a child in a room full of white men. That's why he's talking to this child, explaining himself to this child, when this man has no power to do anything to him. The only thing he has power to do is what he's attempting to do right now, which is make Wack look like a snitch in front of his own community and pull his strings and make him sing.
They found his DNA under my brother's nails. And they was like, okay, and I stopped it. And the floor is talking about, okay, well, that could have been whoever this person may have been. So they talk another 20 minutes. And like, well, who could the person have been? So I played the mother saying that they had to track down Big U for a year or so, and the feds forced him to give his DNA. So I know that these two people worked for Big U for years. He would know their voice, right? I have a media team in the GOO. The media team took all that, chopped it up, put it on the internet. Once it got on the internet, 600 was able to grab it and do his spin on it.
But the question I really have around that, because there's a great way that you broke it down for us there. But were you surprised that Luce and them had such a serious reaction? Did you think that he was going to get wrapped up in this whole thing, or did you see it as a separate thing, this Big U situation? Because I was surprised that even Brick's getting wrapped up in it, right?
It was funny. One of my business partners called me. He doesn't even do social media, but he was watching that. I swear he's out of Philly. He called me and said, "Hey, bro, I think your boy Luce has some ties to something." I blew it off. What are you talking about? Right? Because he was like real adamant about it. He kept calling. He like 600. I said, no, he's not. It's off the internet. Nah, man, that's the recordings we got of the family. Luce was on the phone. The recordings I got, Luce was on the phone the whole time. Right? The family been contacted him for a year, but he never reacted to it. Right? So when he seen that I wasn't stopping 600, I told him he's covered because I made sure it got to the internet. I said, bro, we're warning him. 600 hates him, so he's having his fun.
Listen, I don't even care about what's being said. Couldn't give a damn about Rolling 60, 600, any of these fools. Why is this OG, he's a gangster, he's hard as hell, the way he projects himself. Why is he sitting here explaining himself to these people? Why? Like, what is that doing for him? What is that doing for him? Because say you get the views, right? The money goes to Adam. I just sent this shit to Adam, by the way. I told Adam, I said, look, I just sent a message to Adam right now. It said, y'all the real OGs now. Y'all running these fools like shot callers. I just sent that to Adam right here on my phone. Because it's true. Let me get a man his flowers. Let me give the man his flowers. Because the way he got these dudes going against everything they told us when we were younger, everything these busters tried to instill and fearmonger us on when we was younger, the way these dudes are going against all that, I promise you, the OGs who died before back in the day, or the dudes locked up in the pen, San Quentin and all that shit, they gotta be, they gotta be freaking, the ones that's dead gotta be rolling over in their grave. The ones who's living gotta be throwing up in their Lucky Charms or their mystery meat that they serving them for dinner and lunch. You couldn't have, if somebody came back in a time machine and went back to 1995 There is no way you could have convinced me that I would be seeing what I'm seeing on the screen right now one day. No way in hell. They're running these fools. Every man who is a man who's ever sat in a room with other men, you could tell by the body language that they running these fools. They don't have to do the dying, but they profit more than you off of it. They get an audience with the dudes who were presented as these like larger than life figures to us. They get an audience with them. And the same dude who act like he didn't know how to act between the boundaries of South Central will go and act like a docile Negro in their presence. He'll act docile among them. This is why I told y'all for so long, and I used to say stuff like, these gangs gotta go, damn these gangs, ain't nobody worried about a gang member. Well, Brandon, you don't understand. Because of slavery, that's why they act like they act. No, that's what they was doing. They was acting. They know how to behave themselves. They know how to behave like professionals. You meet 4 extras, he's 4 extras, trying to knock you out and boom, bam, boom off the back. Adam meets 4 extras, and 4 extras in there cheesing like a kid on a goddamn graduation. Wait a minute. I thought this Negro didn't know how to behave. I thought slavery put this Negro in a disposition to where he had to act uncivilized in every setting he was placed in because he didn't know any better. What's this? What's this? This man gets in the presence of white people, and suddenly he becomes civilized off the back. Don't you feel dumb? Don't you feel dumb feeling sorry for these fools? Don't you feel dumb not calling the police on these fools? Don't you feel dumb letting these people turn your neighborhood into a war zone? All because you felt sorry for them because of slavery. And then they turn around and show you that they had plenty of control over their emotions. They are actually masters of their abilities, like Baby Boy. And they've always known it. But they were able to act in an uncivilized manner among you, right? Because you felt sorry for them. That's why I don't feel upset or animosity for a person like Charleston White. Because Charleston White, sorry for getting away from the camera. Because Charleston White has been telling us this stuff for years. And honestly, sorry, I messed up my camera. And honestly, if you're a black man who's honest about your situation, you know that it's the truth. You know that it's the truth. These dudes aren't victims. These dudes are willing participants. These dudes are in control, and they've bought in to a situation, making them responsible for everything that happens to them, any calamity that befalls them. I kid you not. I see dudes who are enemies in the streets. Dudes who act like, I'm so emotional because of somebody that they killed 10, 20, 30 years ago. I can't even dare to cross paths with one of these dudes without aggressing against him in some way. He can't pass him up in the streets of South Central, but he can sit right 2 feet away from him in the streets of No Jumper and not jump over the table and knock him out off the back. I'm calling bullshit. I'm damning it all straight to hell. I'm telling you that you've been hoodwinked and bamboozled, feeling sorry for these suckers. Going against what you know is right. Because you feel empathy and remorse for a bunch of uncivilized mandingos. They're not doing it because they can't help it and they have to. They're doing it because they want to. They've always done it because they want to. And they've always secretly laughed at you when you felt sorry for them. And their sob story worked on you. And I was raised by a single mother, and my mama used to smoke crack, and my daddy used to beat up my mama, and all that nonsense. Because none of that comes into play when they enter the studio of No Jumper. The same guy who made your neighborhood unlivable suddenly becomes a businessman. Suddenly, in the streets of the hood, he's talking like he's dragging his tongue on the ground. He gets in the room with Adam 22. He gets in the room with Trap Lord Ross. Suddenly, this guy becomes so eloquent. He becomes an orator. Why? Because they only do it to you because you're dumb enough to fall for it. They only do it to you because you're dumb enough to accept it. And this is something we've always known.
But we're warning him. I'm going to be real. If somebody took my DNA a year or so ago, after a year, 18 months, I'm thinking ain't nothing of it. I'm not even thinking that my skin's under about a dude's nails. And I hear the family say they found his DNA under the nails. I hear that. That's going to be alarming to me.
That did turn out to not be completely true, though, right?
No, it was completely
From the
true.
complaint, it said that the DNA that was found, it couldn't confirm that it was Big U, but it couldn't rule it out too. Whereas they could rule out the other individual, right?
No. I don't know where you saw that at.
So, Trap Lord Ross, in a very eloquent way, just told Whack 100, you're a liar. What you're saying is not true. Whack says, oh, that was completely true. Oh, no. It wasn't completely true. Now, let me read the indictment, void of all context, so I can continue to take shots at you. So I can continue to take passive-aggressive shots at this LAOG and show these other white folks, you know what, these dudes really ain't as tough as they presented themselves to be all these years. I'm telling you, black people are losing ground on a hourly basis when these dudes are on No Jumper, getting confronted and hold around by pencil neck nerds from across the pond. This dude is basically sitting with a dude who would do violence against another black man for trying to say the stuff Trap Lord Ross is saying. And he's letting him know, you don't got to worry about these dudes. They only aggress against other Negroes. They only aggress against other black people who look like them. People who look like them and live in a community. And these are the guys y'all been scared of all these years? Police.
I really saw it said that. It wasn't completely confirmed that it's Big U's DNA. That's what I'm seeing, and there's still no...
There's no... Listen.
They said it was inconclusive or something like that, right?
So, do you want me to read it out?
Go ahead.
Read out.
Okay, so... Wait, the DNA profile... So, DNA was connected from RW's ankle/sock area, consistent with the direction that RW was dragged into the desert off the highway.
Oh.
The DNA profile obtained was not complete, likely due to the aforementioned inclinement on whether the... due to the inclement weather on the night of the murder. So the weather and the way that the body was left overnight, I guess in the cold, in the wind or whatever, meant that the DNA profile wasn't able to be completed. So it says analysis of Henley's DNA profile, Big U, was inconclusive such that he could not be excluded as the contributor of the DNA, but it couldn't be confirmed. And Robinson, on the other hand, was excluded as a potential contributor of the DNA. So it wasn't confirmed, but it couldn't be excluded.
You know who Robinson is?
Robinson.
That's the driver.
Mm-hmm.
That's the driver who told them they drove to L.A., picked the kid up, where they took him, and how he was killed. So when you got something that says you're not excluded, it could have been you, maybe not. But then you got the dude with you who gave DNA once they brought him in. Big U didn't know it. And they show, you didn't touch the body. That means he's identified Big U as a killer. That's who really told on him.
But all I'm saying is that, from what I understand, the DNA thing, to make the statement Big U's DNA was found under his fingernail.
That's been running in the media a lot.
That's not been conclusively proven as true.
These mics are kind of sensitive, so you might want to pull it in a little more.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's what.
You got to remember, we didn't make.
They've been saying that as a headline since Wack started talking about it.
You got to remember, we didn't make the statement. We just played the recording.
But this is the thing. Do you feel like it's kind of overcooking Big U's involvement. Now, obviously, it's an open case; it's unresolved, right? But the headline of DNA found under fingernails is not. It's a little overshooting.
What's the difference in what you did?
Because this says it can't confirm
listen,
it.
Listen.
This guy is literally playing like the devil's advocate, I guess. I mean, if Big U gets out of jail and continues to be a predator in his community, that doesn't affect Trap Lord Ross. Everybody in South Central should have been ready to put their foot up Trap Lord Ross's butt, because how insensitive is that to even the families who are victims of what Big U allegedly did? This is what I'm telling you. I'm looking at Wack. He's sitting there with his hands in his pocket. That's defensive. So that means that Trap Lord Ross got this dude nervous. I don't know if y'all, if you study body language and all that, your hands in your pockets is a defensive posture. If you look at not Wack 100, if you look at Vlad, if you look at Adam, if you look at Trap Lord Ross, I'm telling you, Wack 100 might as well be on the damn witness stand. And sometimes these dudes, they've been put in these situations so much because they lived lives of crime. They get in front of a white man asking them tough questions, and they shrink back within themselves. It's like a trauma response. They don't really know how to interact with these dudes on a man-to-man level. Wack can joke and make fun with Adam 22, but can he sit there and go toe-to-toe with him in a dialogue, or sit there and go toe-to-toe with him in a interrogative way and not be triggered emotionally and shrink back into maybe a time when he was being interrogated by the cops? I would have jumped up and slapped that damn laptop out of his hand. Let me interrogate you. Because you in every hood. These fools up here telling you all they hood business. Let me look in your laptop and see who you communicating with when nobody's around. Let me go through your cell phone. And what's funny is Trap Lord Ross violated Wack 100 prior to this, actually. And Wack 100 still sat there and presented himself so this guy could argue the case for Big U. Like, bro, this ain't no courtroom and you ain't no damn judge, and these people here ain't no damn jury. You want to talk about Big U's case? Go talk to Big U. I ain't going to speak on it. Because what he's done, allegedly, speaks for itself. Nipsey Hussle dead and in the ground. And I feel like when these dudes come here trying to defend somebody who may or may not have had something to do with it, but definitely laughed in the face of Nipsey Hussle's family when somebody said free Nipsey or justice for Nip on that live call, I feel like what you're doing is kind of like a slap in the face to those people. You know, when these black folks, when these dudes deal with other black people, they can find a roundabout way to detect offense, an offense that's been committed. But when they talk to these white folks, all of a sudden, no, you just don't understand what he meant when he said this or that. You're taking it totally out of context. Brandon, you have to understand the nuance in the situation. So nuance exists when you talk to a white man. But when the black man talks to you, context and nuance goes out the window, and you're finding a way. You're finding a way to be offended. Let me go in a room full of bloods, and I say, man, you got a true Slav mindset. Now, we all know that the term Slav is the root word where the word Slav, that's where the word slave came from, right? The Slavs were the first, they say they were the first slaves. I promise you there will be one ignorant nigga up in that group that try to say I said Slavs and will try to fight me or aggress against me in some way. Niggas will hear what they want to hear just to find a reason to try to aggress against you. And put a 1 if I'm lying. Put a 1 if I'm lying. Brandon's reaching. No, I'm not, because I've seen it. I've seen these hardcore thugs Somebody step on a shoe and they damn near ready to kill him. It was an accident, my brother. Oh, hell no, fool. And they ready to take a life. When it's us, they'll find a reason to be offended. But when it's the white man, he gets a lot of leeway. He gets the benefit of the doubt. He gets the hands in the pockets. He might as well be sitting there twiddling his damn thumbs. The same dude who later on is going to talk about how tough he is because he had Big U in a situation where he could have deleted Big U if he wanted to. Because the chains are not physical for these Negroes. The chains are mental. Somebody can take somebody who could break their neck with one hand and have that person totally in a jukes mentally. And that's where Trap Lord Ross has whack 100 right now. Just look at the body language.
You know I'm allowing you to question me right now, right?
I appreciate it.
Because you did some punk shit the other day. See, the only difference is you usually do what you did the other day sitting over there in London somewhere, right?
Yeah, and he's doing it right now 2 feet away from you, and you ain't gonna do nothing. So what's the point of bringing up that he usually do it in London? What's the point of talking about how he usually do it across the pond? He's doing it right now, and you're doing the same thing you would do if he's doing it in London. Absolutely nothing. Sitting there looking defensive, looking nervous with your hands in your pocket, in a room full of white dudes, and one dude, I don't know what's going on with Remo. You're not gonna do anything. But if he was black, what do you think would have happened? If Trap Lord Ross was a black male from South Central, what do you think this dude would have did? He told Rockstar 100, listen, man, let me make myself big for this. Let me make myself big. I hope you're watching this, Wack. I really hope you're watching this. And I hope I see you one day because I'll say it right to your face. You told Rockstar that because Black Sam asked him to leave his grand opening, he should have Swiss cheesed the place. Now Trap Lord Ross then sat there and called you a liar, a bitch, and a mark to your face in an eloquent way, and you're not doing anything about it. Where's the Swiss cheese, Wack? Where's the fucking Swiss cheese? They only got smoke for people who look like them. I promise you, to God, these Negroes are arbitrary and selective. They'll only do it to someone who looks like them. I'm telling you. And it pisses me off. And I got to commend Adam because, damn, give the guy some type of award because he literally has manipulated these dudes to the point where they think that they're doing this of their own volition. They think they're doing this on their own, under their own, like, mental processes, under their own power. No. He's playing 3D chess, and you're still playing tiddlywinks. Because you only are a genius in the criminal. When it comes to legit money, you're a boy. You're a servant. It's just bad. It's a bad look. It's a bad look. The way this man tried to go at Brick Baby, Dead Homies. I call him Dead Homies because that's all he ever say. He'll go at Brick Baby. If that was Brick Baby on that couch, Wack would be going crazy. Wack would be going ape shit right now if that was Brick Baby on that couch trying to come at him like that. But if it's Trap Lord Ross, it's okay. You don't understand, homie. We got a relationship. Fool, he don't know you. Wouldn't give a squirt of piss to do nothing for you if you was in trouble. They're so eloquent when they get in the room of Caucasians. I mean, the guy is so refined and calm and exemplary deportment. That's what you would call that. Deportment, the way you behave. He's an example for the other coloreds. But get him on the streets of LA. Boy, will be out there like a dog that just got off the leash.
Right? And you're not here. Right? There's a lot of places you can't go. You send Adam something as if it was a clip of something
I hate
did
to keep-
wasn't supposed to do.
I hate to
He
keep
sent me a
stopping this.
screen-
I hate to keep stopping this because wait, he about to get checked by his massa real quick. But I'm going to comment on that too. I hate to keep stopping it. This fool said there's a lot of places you can't go. Trap Lord Ross could go more places than Whack 100 could go. I promise you that right now. Trap Lord Ross can go to more black hoods in America than Whack 100 can go safely. He's been there. And they did the same thing you doing right now. They learned how to behave. They got some act right. When the white man walked in the room with the specs, with the Harry Potter bifocals, and the damn $7 haircut, they learned how to behave. Like Negro, like slaves on a plantation. Master, come and stand up straight. Trap Lord Ross could go more places than I could go. More black hoods. Because when we're looking at one of our own, we're looking at how we can aggress against that person without being held accountable for it. When you're looking at him, I don't know what you think, but I know it ain't the same thing you think or are thinking when you see me. And it's sad and it's embarrassing. And I'm calling it out.
They're kind of sensitive, so you might want to pull it in a little more.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
Yeah, well, you got to remember, we didn't make.
all
We
the
didn't,
time.
Oh, he sent me a
got clear
screenshot
this
of
up. Okay,
a
here we
page
go.
from the indictment.
that's cool.
Where Big
You
U
the
was
receiver.
recorded on a
You the
wiretap, basically
receiver.
saying that he punked.
I want to go back a little bit.
right? And you're not here.
Okay. Now, Whack 100, he gonna start feeling his cojones right here. He's probably realizing right about now that he's been played by Trap Lord Ross. He probably thinks it's probably finally hitting him. This dude is trying to make me look a certain way or discredit me on the internet in front of all these people. So he tries to stand up and be a man for a second. He tries to straighten his back and lift his chin up and be a man. He starts to come at Trap Lord Ross. So the fact that he tries to come at Trap Lord Ross, that proves that Trap Lord Ross is doing something that's unethical or that's uncouth, right? What does uncouth mean, guys? I love that word, but I've never known the meaning of it. I'm trying to expand my vocabulary so I could become a snitch like all the rest of these dudes. Yes. Right, lacking good manners, right? He's uncouth, right? It's not good manners, right? Trap Lord Ross is being really, you don't do that. You don't get somebody on air or on public forum and start asking them about sensitive issues. That's considered, impolite, right? Personal stuff. So he's being uncouth, in my opinion. And Whack 100 finally realizes it. But I want you to watch how Whack 100 gets checked by Adam the minute he tries to be a man and stand up for himself against Trap Lord Ross. Watch this. I mean, this be like clockwork. It's like clockwork.
Right? It's a lot of places you can't go. You send Adam something as if it was a clip of something I did I wasn't supposed to do.
No, he sent me a
got clear this
screenshot
up a
of a
little bit.
page from the indictment.
that's cool.
Where Big
You
U
the
was
receiver.
recorded on a
You the
wiretap, basically
receiver.
saying that he punked you
Hold on.
out with a whole bunch of people, and
Hold
it
on.
had
No,
a
it was the
quote
receiver.
that he attributed to you,
Okay,
but it
well, hold
wasn't an actual video
Hold on.
or recording.
Hold on,
This
hold
was Big U's version
Hold
of
on,
events.
hold on. You the
Hold up. Adam kept talking like you didn't even exist. You might as well have been Casper. Right? Adam just overtalked him. Like, no. This is what I'm going to say this real quick. You're not coming at Trap Lord Ross. Yeah, you thought you was equal. You thought you was one of us, but you coming at the other white guy right now. So I got to check you. And that's what Adam did. I mean, am I wrong? Can someone refute my assertion? My observation? He got checked. He tried to come at Trap Lord Ross, and Adam checked him. I want to watch that again. It was so entertaining.
Oh, he sent me a
We gotta clear this
screenshot
up a
of
little
a
bit.
page from the
Okay,
indictment.
that's cool.
Where Big
You
U
the
was
receiver.
recorded on a
You the
wiretap, basically
receiver.
saying that he punked you
Hold
out
on.
with a whole bunch of people, and
Hold
it
on.
had
No,
a
it was a
quote
receiver.
that he attributed to
Okay,
you, but it
well, hold
wasn't an actual video
Hold on.
or recording.
Hold on, hold
this was
on.
Big U's version
Hold
of
on,
events.
hold on. You're the receiver. So
Pause.
since you
And let me tell you the coldest part. Trap Lord Ross sent Adam a screenshot of the indictment where Big U was bragging to somebody on the phone about punking out Whack 100. Now, we don't know this is true. Big U could have just been, hyping it up, exaggerating. Adam is the one who got on live, or I don't know if they did this live or whatever, but Adam is actually the one who got on camera and presented that information in a way that made it look like Whack 100 had got marked out by Big U. I'm just being honest. And would you believe that Adam actually admitted that? Would you believe Adam actually admitted, I was the one who said it in a way that made it look like you got punked? Whack had no smoke for Adam. Why would you, a guy I record with every day, present something in a fraudulent way to make it look like I got marked out by Big U? So Adam was like, he didn't do it, I did it. But Whack knows his place. So he just kept trying to focus on Trap Lord Ross after Adam just told him, you ain't going at Trap Lord Ross. I'm the one who did it. So you really aiming at the wrong dude. Whack's still going to hyper focus on Trap Lord Ross.
You read everything, right? Now, tread lightly with this. Because I've been telling myself for the last couple minutes not to really do nothing to you because I know what you was trying to do.
Okay.
So since you so thorough, did you read what Big U said he did to me? No, either you gonna play smart or dumb. Did you read it?
Yes. Can I say one
What
thing?
did you
Can I say
find
one thing in my
there
defense first?
That's the bullshit and the real shit.
But can I say one thing in my defense
I
first?
just want to know what you read.
I feel like stuff that Adam said that he put source on top of. I just sent him an image of the indictment and said, "Have you seen this?" You
No,
went,
you
in,
said
no, no,
in that
you went in the
page.
room and you said a bunch of stuff.
No,
that
you said
was
in
a
that
little bit
page.
added on.
You sent him that page, so I'm
It's on that
asking
page.
you, just gonna let me know where you at with me.
Mhm.
Did you read that and did you use your brain to understand why and why not? So I'm a
I'd
dude
say
that
yes.
just violated Big U like no other human being, right? Violated him.
So now, because the white dudes didn't punk me and mark me out, I got to recall how I violated Big U. And now I got to be tough by telling us an old story about how I punked some black guy. Ain't that the way it always goes up? I mean, the way it always goes? Why did we even have to bring Big U up in this situation? Why do we have to bring up you violating Big U in this situation? Why does the black man have to fall back to a time where he violated another black man to make himself feel like a man in a room full of white guys? Why don't you get up and violate Trap Lord Ross the way he just violated you right now? Or Adam, the way he just punked you. Straight up. I mean, don't be mad at me. It happened. Now I got to bring up how I was tough against another black guy. The more things change, the more things stay the same. And I'm telling you, this guy comes from a generation that has a subservient mindset, even if it is subconsciously, to white people. See, I went to No Jumper and sat in there. Adam was in there. He was saying some shit, which is cool. Adam is fine. He's a cool guy. But I never once got in there and acted like somebody in there was an intellectual superior to me. A dude with a laptop, a white guy with a laptop, while everybody else just sitting in there with nothing on their lap and in their hands. That's not someone intelligent. That's someone who can Google stuff on the fly and then try to come across as if they're intellectually superior. Why does he need a laptop? If bro had really read the indictment and knew he had something to prove that Whack 100 wasn't being, 100, no pun intended, when it came to the information, why couldn't he just sit there like a gentleman and have the discussion? Because this guy is not a gentleman. This guy's a pencil neck nerd who really shouldn't be in black folks' business. But because we're so ignorant, anybody can come in and have a say in our business, and we have no ability to gatekeep against it. Because the more we try to gatekeep, the OGs, the shot callers like Whack 100, they still trying to eat at master table. They still trying to like see if they could get a crumb that fall on the floor. So we're really being compromised from within. It's not us, it's not our methods, and it's not our tactics. We still suffer from being infiltrated or from having given too much power and influence to people who are like lapdogs for other groups. That's the reality right here. And I'm not like racist or anti-white. No, there's no reason for me to be. I just see the dynamic. I've identified it. And now I am exposing it in an effort to get other people to see it. Not so you can go aggress against anybody, but so the next time you won't make the same mistake. Don't be that way. Don't get in a room for anybody and start explaining yourself or doing anything you wouldn't normally do. But if you are going to be ignorant, if you are going to aggress against other black males like Whack 100, at least just keep the same energy despite skin color, race, color, or creed. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking.
Sure.
2-3 years, right?
That's such a claim to fame now that Big U is like the ultimate bad guy of LA.
No.
Him being able to say that he violated is like him saying he went up against Al Capone.
No.
To tell the tale.
No, you got to remember, I don't see Big U the way y'all see Big U.
I know.
Big U done sat on my couch with his head down, scared straight in situations where he needed our help at. I don't see him that way. A motherfucker who I had to pay rent and help take care of his family, who then sat on my couch and said, help me. I don't see that dude as that, right? But if you read that, right?
I mean, the mere fact that you had to help the guy and you would actually publicize that is crazy to me. But once again, when you come from a community that has no code, or we have a fake code of ethics and honor, this guy could do that and there's no repercussions for it. I would never help someone and then turn around and publicize that. I don't care what they did. I would never help someone and publicize it. Me and Afro Think Tank got into it on the internet. I know stuff about him. He knows stuff about me. Never did either one of us get up there telling each other's business. And I can't even say we were mad at each other. But never did any of us get up there telling each other's business. I got into it with Alexis Fowler. I know things about her. She got up here trying to tell my business, which it was nothing to tell. I didn't get up and retaliate by telling her business. I'm not going to do that. I got into it with Nak Meezy. Nak Meezy got up here calling me a pedophile, all types of stuff. Never once did I get up here telling all the stuff I know about Nak Meezy. And it's a doozy. All I'm telling you is, how far down do you got to get? How desperate for acceptance and validation do you have to get to start talking about how you helped somebody who at one time was a friend to you? How low down do you have to get on the internet and start exposing what you did for somebody? Because I'm sure there's people who have helped you too. It's wrong to do. And it's really wrong to do in a room full of guests, I would say. Because they're guests in the discussions about our culture. I just want to point something out. Adam, I wish you were watching this. I wish Adam was watching this. I would love for him to see this. Why is Remo even there? Bro is clearly not paying attention to anything that's going on. I'm telling you, the day we find out why Remo is in the room is the day all things are revealed to us and we are given the knowledge of God. This man don't even be paying attention to what's going on, but is privy to every conversation had at No Jumper, no matter who is there. Why is that? Why is that? I have a theory. I believe Remo is Adam's private security. I believe Remo is strapped, and I believe if anyone ever tried to attack Adam in that studio, Remo would be the person who lays his ass down. That's just what I believe. I mean, he has like this ex-military mustache going on. He's clean shaven in a world of beards. He never looks like he's really interested in what's going on, but he'll interact with it in a way that's kind of like, I have to say something so me being here doesn't look awkward. But I promise you, Remo couldn't care less about these topics. This guy's supposed to be a host, and he's in the room with like guys who are like heavy hitters in the social media world. And bro's doesn't even care. He doesn't even care. Now, either that or he and Adam are star-crossed lovers, and they can't admit it, they can't reveal it on public forum. Either one of those two things. Those are my theories. Those are my theories. But yeah, I really be paying attention. And I've asked Remo, why are you here? And he never has a really good answer for me. I've been in the room with Remo. Why are you here, Remo? I'm telling you, bro got it on him. Bro got it on him. And if you ever move to aggress against Adam, the shot's going to come from the least likely source. Adam, come on the stream and tell us what Remo's job is. I know you're watching. I know you're watching. Come on the stream and tell us what Remo's job is. I'm putting the link in the comments. I think Adam might be watching this. I'm putting the link in the comments. I want to come up here and tell us why you do whack like that, why you punk whack like that, and tell us what Remo's job on. Why Remo's always around. Adam, if you need security, just get a real security guard. You don't need security. You control these dudes' minds already. You literally freaking snap your fingers. They'll probably fall into the sunken place like on Get Out. I believe this dude has this type of power over these dudes. Adam said he's not Jewish, so he might be a gypsy. He might be into the dark arts and have some type of spell on these dudes. Y'all think put a one if you think Remo is Adam's armed security. Cause I'm really starting to believe that. It's just crazy to me how this guy's always around and contributes nothing. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but he never gives any real like deep takes on anything. And no offense to you, Remo, he seems like a cool guy, but he also seems like he could be armed security for Adam. I'm just saying.
It says we was 15, 20 deep, right? And we caught him. And he was by himself, right? You do know I jumped out on them. You do know I wasn't walking. I'm in a car with 800 horsepower in it, right?
No, we didn't know that, Whack. But tell us how you were so gangster against Big U, but sitting up here getting interrogated by Trap Lord Ross and punked by Adam. That's my only question. I'm not questioning this guy's gangster. I'm just saying maybe the gangster is selective. Maybe the gangster is circumstantial. Maybe the gangster depends on who's in the room. Time and place, location. Maybe it's like you remember on Captain Planet with our powers combined. They had to put their rings together and then they were awesome. Maybe they were Power Rangers. They had the little thing. It's morphin' time. Then maybe it's that type of situation. But inquiring minds wish to know.
I'm very capable of whatever, right? You do know my homeboys was adjacent to them, but
Here we
they didn't
go.
even that they had no idea they was there, right?
The Henny
know
Man.
that.
Right?
That's new information.
You do understand that,
screaming.
right?
I'm here.
He's
Big
screaming.
Bro, I want you guys to pay attention to this. This is the next crazy diabolical part that I felt was like, God damn. Wax in the middle of telling us his war story, his hood story, telling us about how he was so gangster over Big U, right? Adam totally disregards what this dude said, almost to the point of it being disrespectful. Like, shut up, nigga. Someone else just walked in. Now that someone turns out to be, I think, DJ Academics, right? Which, all right. Adam literally just was like, shh. The way he said it, he didn't literally verbalize it, but the way he was like the Henny Man and looked away, the way Adam just doesn't give a fuck about nothing Wack is talking about. And this is why I tell you that these are the new shot callers. Shot callers are not enamored by the same stuff that small minds, low-level degenerates are occupying their mind with. And Adam just gave total boss energy. Like, we know who's the alpha in this situation. So all the stuff that Wack has done to make his own community unlivable, right? That means nothing to these dudes. So why are you still talking about it? Why are you still running your mouth trying to prove a point and get validation from them? They really don't care. Trap Lord Ross is in there to do it so his audience can, get a kick out of it, because that's what he does. But there ain't no way in hell Adam is caring about what this dude is saying. So if his words hold no weight with Adam, why do they hold weight with you? That's the question you need to ask yourself.
I'm in a car with 800 horsepower in it, right? I'm very capable of whatever, right? You do know my homeboys was adjacent to them, but
Here we
they didn't
go.
even that they had no idea they was there, right?
The Henny
know
Man.
that.
Right?
That's new information.
You do understand that,
screaming.
right?
I'm here.
He's
Big
screaming.
This is my vlog.
Big Ack, how you living? Oh my God.
Now
he's
we
in here
got
with the
Mount
360
Podmore
cam.
right here, bro.
Hello,
We set
hello,
you in the
Shay.
middle.
How you doing? First time meeting. Come on. IRL.
Hold on. We got to get to this right here.
He's trying to pack
Sit
out
down. We on
Trapler
some
right
bullshit
now.
right now.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
we
pressed
need a
as we
judge.
speak it.
Hold on.
We need someone to litigate this
No,
situation.
hold on. Watch this.
I'm glad I'm here at ground zero, man. This roll the indictments.
Watch this. So let me give it to you, right?
Smell like police
Let me-
numbers up in here, man. I brought my badge too. I said this the Fed Avengers. They got me.
Yo,
they
not
got
Fed
Adam.
Avengers.
They got Vlad. You know.
Mount Podmore.
Shout out to the new
No fair
recruit,
to
Remo.
business.
He the undercover.
So
He
listen.
the worst undercover.
yeah.
Hold on. Let's
No,
get
they
back
said,
to
they
it,
said
right?
the undercover had a stutter.
Oh, the undercover had a stutter.
We're eyeing up
Actually, no.
Flacco.
Won't you read it?
Look, I just
No,
feel
I
like
want you to
I
read
feel
it.
like
No,
I
I
will
want
read
you to
it.
read it.
I'll read it.
They're not even paying attention to this dude. They're not even paying attention to this dude. You a 50-something-year-old OG. I think they say 40, but he got to be at least 50. You a 50-something-year-old OG from whatever hood you from. I thought when OGs talk, people listen. Do you notice how when Adam talks, Wax shuts the hell up? Do you notice that? I'm gonna take it back a little bit.
To get to this right here.
He's trying to pack
Sit
out
down. We on
Trapler
some
right
bullshit
now.
right now.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
we need
pressed
a
as we
judge.
speak it.
Hold on.
We need someone to litigate this
No,
situation.
hold on. Watch this.
I'm glad I'm here at ground zero, man. This roll the indictments.
Watch this. So let me give it to you, right?
Smell like police
Let me-
numbers up in
hey,
here, man. I brought my badge too. I said this the Fed Avengers. They got me.
Yo,
They got
not-
Adam.
When Adam talk, everyone goes silent. Soon as Wack start talking, they just keep talking over him whenever they feel like it. Right now, Wack is carrying the whole show. Trap Lord Ross is basically winding him up, and Wack is just he's basically dancing at this point. You might as well get up there and start fucking pop locking, dude. They got you dancing. No guns, no fireworks, no poppers, the little things you throw on the ground, and you up there tap dancing. He might as well get his ass up on that table like Gregory Hines, dude. Adam, if you watching this, bro, why y'all got Wack in there tap dancing like that? That's my question. And this is why dudes like Loose Cannon just talk so recklessly about all these dudes, because he sees it too. Any man who been around LA, Long Beach, LA County, gang culture and stuff, bro, this should be this is disgraceful. That boy in there tap dancing. I mean, academics had to come in. A dude who's an admitted coward had to come in and bring us back restore some level of dignity to the black race. Because all Wack was in there was tap dancing. Tap, 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 tap. It's really disgusting. It was straight embarrassing how y'all played them. Hey, y'all do me a favor, man. We set a super chat goal, and I would really like to reach it. Let me take a quick break to acknowledge the one super chat I got. Laughing Like Saget, my brother. Thank you for the $1.99 holler on the super chat. Thugs are not our heroes. Shit. You from Africa. I ain't from Africa. I'm from Crenshaw Mafia. If thugs are not our heroes, we sure as hell revere them. Shout out to my boy JP from the LB for the $5 holler in the Cash App. And shout out to my girl T. Lee for the $10 holler in the Cash App. Hey, the goal is 5 super chats of at least $5. It's set in the you can see it if you're looking at the screen. But I know a lot of you aren't looking at the screen. But yeah, 5 super chats of at least $5 is the goal. But I think I've given you guys a lot of value here, because these are the nuanced topics that people don't want to discuss. And when you talk to dudes like Wack 100, they're so loud and they're so outspoken, and he's a very quick-witted guy. And I'll give you this. He is a master podcaster. But it takes someone who knows these type of people, who comes from the same side of the tracks as these type of people, to understand that even though these dudes present themselves as being so dominant and masculine, they're really the beta in the room. But they just know that the people who come from where they come from a lot of times can't really see it. So right now, we're watching as Wack tries to take the top position in the conversation, but in reality, he's just in a room with a bunch of dudes who don't really respect him like that. I mean, they're cool with him, they tolerate him, they give him access to a certain extent, but the criteria by which they gauge, notoriety, or the criteria by which they gauge relevance, based on that criteria, Wack 100 is irrelevant to them. And I don't know if he knows that. Because as much as he's talking, we should be on the Wack 100 show. And we should be getting the breakdown of everything that's going on with the Big U situation, and Wack should be reaping all the benefits from it. I don't know. Life of Energia. Thank you for the $5 holler in the Cash App. In the super chat. We are one super chat closer to our goal. We need 4 more, guys. That ain't a whole lot. 4 more super chats of $5. You could do it. I have faith in you. I have more faith in you doing that than I have of Wack 100 talking his way out of this situation.
They got Vlad.
Mount Podmore.
Shout out to the new recruit, Remo.
He the undercover.
So listen,
He the worst undercover.
hold on.
Why is Remo a new recruit? Like, guys, I hate to keep on going on Remo, right? But I want to ask y'all a question. what has Remo contributed to this discussion that would warrant him being the new recruit, even in the fast shit or the Mount Podmore conversation? That's my guy right there. I don't even know. See the dude in the green hat? I don't even know this dude. He's the dude who like runs all the equipment and shit. That dude is cool as hell. That dude is one of those guys who you're never going to see, but he's one of the guys who makes no jumper possible. That dude is cool as hell. Because even if like the people in there, like the hosts are assholes, bro, speak up for you. Like, nah, y'all tripping. Whoop-de-whoop is cool. This dude is cool. You know, I like that guy. I forgot his name, but I like that guy. He's real cool. But Adam got a team behind him. Y'all think that this the team. See these two black people right here? Y'all think that this the team. This ain't the team. See this guy right here behind them all, this white guy with the screen? He's on the team. Just to let y'all know. You know, black folks, we think people do everything by themselves. No. Adam got a team. You just ain't never seen him. And it's a good team too. Let's keep Brandon, can you make Mondays and Fridays your political streams? Man, we about to go back to political streams. We about to go back to all political stuff. I'm just playing in the mud with these fools about this topic. I don't care about the money. I want to talk about what I want to talk about. And I want to talk to black people and people, period, who want to move forward. This gangbanging and all this tough guy, Tommy tough guy shit, this shit is old, man. All this gets you is in the feds. And Whack 100 is all over Big U stuff. What's going to happen when his case come out? I mean, if one comes out. Not wishing that on him. But if one were to come out, he'll have mud on his face.
Oh, let's
No,
get back to
they
it,
said
right?
the undercover had a stutter.
Oh, the undercover had a stutter?
We're eyeing
That's
up
Flacco.
Actually, no. Won't you read?
Because I'm going to be real with you. If you gangbanging in LA County, we all done did something. We all got some shit that could send us up the river. Easily. I know I do. We all got something. It's just whether it was found out or not.
Look, I just
No,
feel
I
like
want you to read it. No,
I
I
will
want
read
you to
it.
read it.
I'll read it.
I want you to read
I'll
it.
read it. Can I say
No,
something
read
before
it.
I read it? Because it's
Read
very
it.
important.
I
Context.
want you to read it.
All right, I'll read it.
I want to see how
I'll
smart
read
you
it,
are.
and then I'll give what I thought of it, and then I'm
Go
going to
ahead,
repeat
read
what
it.
Adam said about it.
I'm
Because
I
you
want a
spun
dramatic
it.
reading.
You spun it crazy.
read
I want you to
Before
read
y'all
it
get to that,
dramatically.
Hey, third, y'all out there?
Yo, before y'all get to that,
I'm going to expose something
Don't bring
that
the
I
Pacoima
never
out.
exposed.
yo, Whack.
Oh, wow, okay.
I'm so glad you're my friend because all your ops just go to jail, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Man.
Oh.
All your ops, every nigga don't like you, they going down in the ball of
listen,
flame,
man,
man.
I'm a legal
Yo,
guy,
Wack's my
man.
friend. I'm telling you.
Go ahead.
Somebody told me what happened, Pan-Africanism fraud. It didn't work out. What does my label in the top corner say? I think that says Pan-Africanism strikes back, doesn't it? These guys you're just so thirsty. Go back to Tariq Nasheed's channel, you lemming. You mindless plebe.
Go ahead, read it. Read it.
Henley
I'm on him for doing his weird shit. Go ahead.
Henley recounted to victim one, and then this is on a wiretap, right? So bear in mind, this is very important. This is Big U bragging about doing this on a
Sorry. Weird is the word that people use when the other person is cooking their ass and they ain't got nothing else to say. They ain't got nothing to say. And right now, Trap Lord Ross is searing Whack 100 to perfection. And he's emboldened by his two dons, Adam 22 and Vlad TV. Vlad TV ain't said a single word. He just chilling. And it's like, why are you explaining yourself so hard? If I was Whack 100, no one can hear me right now. Can you guys hear me? If I was Whack 100, I'll be sitting back doing what they doing, which is just saying nothing. I'm not muted. I'm not muted. Give me a 1 if you can hear me. I'm not muted. Not that I know of, unless something got unplugged. Okay, cool. All right. So if I was Whack, I'd be sitting here like, why am I the person getting interrogated? Y'all all got the indictment. We all have the indictment. I have the indictment as well. We all have the indictment. Why aren't we sitting here having a discussion about the indictment? Why are we sitting here with one dude with a laptop basically telling me I'm a liar, basically interrogating me while these other two guys just sit here and relax? I'm sorry, but you can't make me tap dance. I'm going to do what everybody else doing. I'm going to lean back, cross my hands, and look at the ceiling before you got me up here tricking me out of my spot, getting me to talk. Some dudes have loose lips when it's a room full of people they respect. And I think that's whack.
Wiretap to somebody
On
else,
the phone.
not
Go
knowing
ahead.
that he's being listened to, right?
Read it.
Henley recounted to Victim One an incident in which Henley and Rolling 60s gang members chased down Whack 100, attempting to hurt him. Quote, "There's 15 to 20 dudes with us with hoodies tied down. I got my hoodie on, all black, tied down. She like, boom. She jumped in the car, paid for, redacted, and then took off. Boom. This dude screaming. My wife, drawers. I see you, Eugene. I see you. Eugene Henley, I see you. He's screaming all of that. He's got his blower. His blower's out.
Allegations.
But he's messed up. I gotta read the whole thing. But he's messed up because nobody's around. We like, bitch ass dude. I'm like, yeah, bitch ass dude. He's like, something. He's like, redacted. Die here, man. Don't do this. My wife, my kids in that car. Drawers. Don't do this. He's screaming.
Now, you tell.
He was about to turn you into
I
Swiss
want to
cheese.
see how smart you are. I've been violating him for 2 years. Violating him, calling him rats, snitches. He came up there 20 deep to get me, right? And he's telling me some word. What's
Here we go. It's like a uncontrollable tick with these people, right? Like Tourette's. Trap Lord Ross is reading the indictment. Just by reading the indictment, he is making Whack 100 so insecure that now he's telling more information than the feds have. See, y'all be talking about snitching, right? But what y'all don't realize that if you could make a black man offended or emotional, he will tell you everything you need to know. And he will not consider it snitching. He is challenging Whack 100's ego. And Whack 100 is in so little control of his emotions. He's like, let me give you guys all some details y'all didn't even know so that I can try to save face. Excuse me. So I won't look like a coward in the face of someone who's in jail looking at spending the rest of his life in prison. I mean, how small do you have to be? Dude, Big U is in prison. He's in jail. The guy's looking at forever. Let it rest. Let it rest. There's no more need to play Tommy tough guy. There's no more need to try to prove you're tougher than Big U. Let him have all the toughness and the gangster and he punked me. Because you're the winner in the end. The guy's locked up, potentially looking at spending the rest of his life in jail. But these guys, like some people, they're so used to losing. They don't even know when they've won. They don't even know when they've won. They still try to prove something. Bro, you didn't look at death in the face and live to tell about it. You survived being a Paru in LA, which is a feat in itself. And you feel like you got to explain to a room full of dudes. I mean, other than Adam, I think all these guys have admitted that they're cowards to some extent. Why are you feeling the need to explain yourself? A real OG would have been like, oh, is that what he said? I ain't even OG, and that's what I would have said. Oh, is that what he said? Okay, word. Must be true if that's what he said. What the hell do I give a damn about what a nigga in jail say? Oh, he marked me out, huh? Funny how that dude ain't been to No Jumper once, and I'm up here every day. If I'm so scared of him, he know where to find me every single day. A lot of these dudes in the black community, they're men. They men in age, but in their mind, they're still like 15-year-old kids trying to outdo each other. A race to the bottom. It's crazy to me. I'll give you guys a quick story. I was on Facebook the other day, and there's this video of this big buff dude. You guys have probably seen it. There's this video of this big buff dude, and he's walking around taking people's groceries out of their grocery cart and putting it in his basket, right? So I send it around to a bunch of people. Africulture Concepts, if he's still watching this, I sent it to him too. I sent it around to a bunch of people. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, we got this one lady who be watching us. She fine as hell. Her name is Vanessa. I think she's single, so y'all dudes go ahead and get after her. No, I'm messing around. But these dudes, so this dude's going around taking stuff out of people's basket. And the people are looking at him, but they don't react. They look like, damn, like they got punked. I mean, this dude is gigantic, right? He's gigantic. So I send it around to a couple of different people that I'm friends with on social media just to get their reaction. I say, what would you do in this situation? I sent it to 2 females, 3 young dudes, 5 older dudes. Dudes I know who are older because they're like people from my city. Everybody who was young that I sent that video to said I wouldn't have did a damn thing. I would have just got another one off the shelf, right? Every older dude was like, man, I would have whooped that motherfucker ass. One dude said I would have pulled out my shank and stuck him in the ass, right in his ass cheek. Pause. And that taught me something about our people. Our older generations, they really haven't learned how to play the game. They have out of control egotism. They're radically egotistical, even in their old age. They haven't learned that you don't have to react every time someone does something to you. They're from the school of thought where, like, if someone makes me look bad, or if someone punks me out, that somehow has a weighs in on my self-worth, right? In my mind, I'm like, this big ass dude pulls something down my car, sticks in his basket, acts like he doesn't even see me. I'm standing right in front of the item he just took out the basket, even if I'm not. Go ahead and take it. How is somebody taking something out of my basket that neither one of us have paid for in a grocery store? How is that some measurement of how manly I am? What would you like me to do? What would you have me to do? Fight that dude? risk going to jail, being taken care of my family, being taken away from my family, being fired from my job, no longer being able to support them over some shit that really ain't mine yet because I ain't paid for it. See, the old way of thinking failed us. And WAC 100, in my opinion, WAC, I think you are a representation of that old way of thinking. A hyper emotional older guy who thinks he's the smartest guy in the room while getting manipulated like a puppet by a bunch of Caucasians, proving to everyone else that he is not. We're watching you, WAC. We're watching you. We listen, but we don't judge. But then again, the Bible says that a wise man or a righteous man judges all things. So I got to judge you, my brother. I'm sorry. We're at our end. I gave you guys an hour and a half. If you want to watch this, it's on the No Jumper page. I think I've gotten my point across. I think that the lesson here has been learned. And I think it's time for me to enjoy the rest of my night. I want all of you who are watching, if you're new, subscribe to the channel. I want all of you who are returning to keep being blessed. Take care of yourselves, your families. Do what's best for you, despite what other people may think or how they may or may not benefit. And if you don't take anything else from this video, I want you to understand or build yourself up, develop yourself in a way to where you know when your strings are being pulled. Don't lead with emotion, but most importantly, don't lead with ego. Do not lead with ego, because there are many who came before you who have done that, and it's gotten them nowhere. And there's many who have who will come after you, who will do that, and it will get them nowhere. We've seen this story before. The outcome remains the same. Until the next time, take care of yourselves, but most importantly, please take care of each other. Peace.